Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, the 2015 Design Effectiveness Awards. It's great to see you here this evening. It's wonderful to have so many people here celebrating great design. Design that really makes a difference to business, to public services, and to people's lives. When we established the Design Effectiveness Awards in 1989, we knew that design could solve some of the toughest problems and deliver strategic advantage, but we were lone voices trying to convince a sceptical audience. How things have changed. Now I'm delighted to see that the rest of the world is catching up with us. Frankly, the figures speak for themselves. According to Create UK, design is an economic force and a source of global influence. And whilst we might hear that kind of statement a lot, most recently from Conrad Bird, who heads up the GREAT campaign in the Prime Minister's office, and it was our pleasure to have him speak at our AGM this year, I think it's important to really get underneath the words and understand just how significant design is to the economy, to innovation, and to people's lives. The UK has the second largest design sector in the world, second to the States. And the design sector contributes 3.1 billion to the UK economy in 2014, according to the figures that were released by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport. But that doesn't tell the whole story, as we all know. It doesn't account for the business whose performance has been transformed by design. It doesn't account for the supply chain impact, the jobs created, the manufacturing plants reinvested into, and the investment in smarter systems and processes by businesses. It doesn't account for the brands that have powered into our lives off the back of design. And nor does it factor in the role that design is playing in public services, which is where these awards come in. The fact of the matter is that design is having a moment. It's firmly on the agenda. Disruptive SMEs have long understood the power of design in overtaking the competition. But now a lot of businesses are realizing that design is not an add-on. It's a way of working. It's why FTSE 100 companies are joining our design leadership group to help them realize the full potential of design in business. And it's why we're welcoming a group of FTSE 100 company chief executives onto our Grand Prix judging panel for the 2016 awards. We need more people in business speaking about design with authority at the highest levels. And I'm not just talking about those in the corporate sphere. Quite frankly, well over half of you here in this room should be operating at this level. Your experience, your confidence, your skills in articulating what you believe to be the case are the real characteristics that I need to see evidenced if we're going to get design embedded in every aspect of life. But design is still not on everyone's agenda. Not yet. There are still too many public bodies that are trying to cut costs without redesigning their service delivery. There are still too many businesses that simply don't understand the role that design can play in strategic development. So the DBA wants to take this moment and turn it into a movement. We want this to be a turning point. Over the past few years, the DBA has slowly, steadily, and quietly been building capacity and capability in the design world. We have nurtured and supported fledgling design businesses. We have delivered world-class training. We have ensured through our awards that design is no longer enough, that effective design is what matters. Design that makes a difference. Design that changes things for the better. Our membership numbers are rising, and with leading lights in the corporate world also joining, our impact is being felt. But as our agenda is gathering momentum, we're still setting our sights higher. We want to convert hearts and minds. And we have the evidence to back up what we're saying. That's why we're going to be supporting the Creative Industries Federation, because their aim is to make sure that our sector packs a political punch that matches its social and economic contribution. We want to make sure that our members' voices are heard, to ensure that politicians and decision makers understand what our industry is capable of and what it needs. We've already started this work in Brussels with the European Commission through the Bureau of European Design Associations, and the impact is tangible. Did you know that the European Commission has a design action plan? But where until now we've spoken, now we're ready to shout. We want to shout about education because STEM subjects are important. Of course they are, but so is art, so is creative thinking, so is design in all its disciplines, so is the ability to translate all that scientific and mathematical knowledge, all of those innovative ideas into successful products and services that lead to corporate growth, competitive advantage, expansion and export, reinvestment, the list goes on. Did you know that we are now the most expensive country in Europe in which to get a design education? Did you know that our own school leavers are looking to other countries for more affordable options? So we are going to be shouting about education. Innovation without design will go nowhere. We want to shout about design and its need to be embedded at the start of innovation funnels, about design as a prerequisite to financial backing of ideas, so that designers can fulfill the potential that we know is latent within them because they're not being asked enough to operate at this sort of level. And we want to shout about partnership between business and design, between problem and solution, between the person commissioning or questioning and those who listen, get it, and then make it happen. We're going to shout loudly, and we're going to make sure that we're heard. And these awards are what enable us to raise our voices so confidently. What you will discover tonight are design projects that have transformed businesses, that demonstrate just what is possible when the best of business comes together with the best of design, and true partnerships are formed. When that happens, ambitions are raised, briefs are exceeded, targets are overshot, and more importantly, genuine transformation is possible. Transformation in the way that people think and in the way that they see the world. We're immensely proud of our awards, and I want to thank each of you personally for taking part, because they're unlike any award anywhere else. For a start, they're really tough to enter. Blood, sweat, and tears are all part of that process. And whilst we also always offer a shoulder to cry on, we are unapologetic about the huge amounts of evidence that are required to make it in front of our eminent judges. It is our high expectations that have made these awards what they are, that make winning them so meaningful. These awards only celebrate the absolute best of the best, the designs that have categorically changed the landscape. It's why winning is so much more than getting your hands on one of our trophies. Winning one of our coveted awards is a signal of a way of working, a focus on solving problems, a collegiate, collaborative way of working, and an ability to turn a problem into a serious opportunity. Membership of the DBA represents something important, a commitment to effective design, a belief in quality, of good working practices, of sharing best practice. Our members sit in design agencies and FTSE 100 businesses. What they have in common is a commitment to great, effective design. Through this commitment, we have built a community of professionals who believe in design as a force for good, who will help us show the world that design should be at the heart of everything. So that just leaves a few thank yous to the DBA team, who I think you'll agree have done a great job for this evening, to the DBA board, whose immense support I'm grateful for, and for the amount of time that they put in, and to all of you. Now, please enjoy your evening, enjoy your personal triumphs, and when you get home, make sure that you shout about this as loudly as you can, because as the ad says, it's worth it. All of you. Thank you.